Hi, I'm your online psychologist. It's been a while. I've stopped making videos for a while now because of the master's program I'm in. It's taking a bit more time than I expected it to do, and it's hard to do it on a frequent basis. But today I'm back because of that master's program. As a student, I've been asked to tell you all something about positive psychology, and specifically a branch of positive psychology called compassionate technology. The master is called Positive Psychology and Technology. So without further ado, what is compassionate technology? Compassionate technology is a rather big concept, but it all boils down to teaching tools and skills to people who have psychological problems to help them reduce those psychological problems using a technology. Or if you're a user of a compassionate technology without having a psychological problem, it might just increase your overall well-being. Compassionate technology tries to answer the problems some patients have that using a technology in any form of therapy might feel very robotic or cold, even if it's a blended therapy, meaning that there's both face-to-face contact and use of a technology. That being said, the people designing compassionate technology recognize that if that match, if that fit isn't there, that it won't be effective. And I think most of us can imagine that if you don't feel it, if you don't feel like you're being helped, it's not going to work. And if I were to give it a rating, solely as a concept, I'd give it an 8. However, if you compare it with face-to-face contact and there's no such thing as blended therapy, hypothetically, then I'd give it a 5 or a 6. The reason for that is that I just can't imagine that a technology could substitute face-to-face contact with a psychotherapist. It might just add to the therapy. My opinion has changed since I started the master's program, but I think that's more because I didn't have any clue what a compassionate technology could be. For instance, wearables could be a compassionate technology, and that's something I'm a big fan of. A compassionate technology that I'm now familiar with is Mind District, and that's a platform that people who are in treatment in the mental health care can get on through a website or an app. Compared to the website, the app is a bit buggy, but it's useful nonetheless. Mind District can aid psychologists very well by automatizing certain homework tasks that you'd give to a patient. Things like keeping track of a diary or completing the daily exercise that you agreed on. It can prompt a patient to complete their daily task and up to a point even motivate them. Like all web-based designs, there is an ethical problem though. Well, several ethical problems. The main problem is that the ethics of technology compared to the ethics of one-on-one treatment are a bit more ambiguous, so it's hard to know when to do what. And that goes for all blended mental health interventions, if you ask me. Think of dilemmas like, when is it okay to respond to a patient? Or when do you take immediate action, and how did you indicate that there's a possible threat for the patient or someone else? Which channels of communication are okay and which aren't? And again, should you care if there's an immediate danger of a patient stating they're gonna hurt themselves? Even if it's over an app like WhatsApp, which has trash privacy settings. Should you care about the communication channel if someone's life is at stake? Not even thinking about how a patient got your cell phone number for WhatsApp. When being specific about an ethical problem in almost every compassionate technology, it would be privacy. When you're a psychologist treating a patient, all information you have on this patient needs to be locked away in a closet or a vault or anything inside the office that you're working on the moment you leave. When things go through the internet, it's almost always mobile, so besides from putting a password on every message you send and encrypting and encoding everything, how would you ensure the privacy of the patient? So there are a couple of problems like that which need attention or need to be fixed before compassionate technology can be what the creators want it to be. In my master's internship, which is coming up, I think a goal for me will be to implement wearables some more into therapy. They might already be implemented a bit, but to implement them more. Because I think wearables are awesome. They can measure heart rate, they can, by measuring heart rate, tell us something about arousal, they can, but in that way, tell us something about mood or anxiety. Yeah, it's awesome. Apart from that, I think it would be a very realistic goal to just learn how to work with something like Mind District or any digital infrastructure that the organization uses. For now, think of me as your compassionate technology. Obviously, I'm not with you in the room, but sending me questions and having me answering them through a video is all possible through technology. I'll do that in a professional and accessible and honest way. You know that those are the strengths that you can count on by letting me help you. So from now on, I am an ambassador of positive psychology and of compassionate technology, and in the future you'll hear more of me saying things about that and what I think of it. So that's it for today. You can keep sending me questions, that's okay. I just won't be able to answer them in videos. I'll be able to answer them through all the social media that you're sending them to me too. And you can send me those questions through Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, email, or YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm your online psychologist and you've got my full attention.